Hey everybody, Boris Forex. Welcome to the weekly technicals for crosses for January 15, January 19 of 2018. And this week we get to play majors against COM dollars in very interesting mixes and combinations. I have three ideas for you this week: Pound Yen, Aussie Kiwi, and Euro CAD. Pound Yen has a resistance 154, very much close here. We're within 100 points of that resistance level. Aussie Kiwi, even though it sort of ended the week negatively, to me is actually a very bullish trade, and I'll explain to you why when I look at the charts. And especially if I get a push from the Australian employment data, I think we have a realistic chance here to make a move towards the 110s on the upside. And last but very much not least is this massive volatility trade in Euro CAD, because we have these two possibly countervailing narratives. Obviously, we have the breakout in the euro. And if we combine that with potentially dovish BOC statement this Wednesday, we could have a move all the way out to the 154s. However, if the BOC completely changes the sentiment in the marketplace and really comes in with a much more hawkish statement than anybody expects, there's quite a big chance here that we could reverse the whole move back down to 150. So this creates a very, very interesting dynamic to trade both sides of the equation depending on how the fundamentals move. Let's take a look at the charts and I'll explain to you why I kind of like both of these ideas. So here's Pound Yen first and foremost. It looks continues to look quite bullish. You have a series of higher lows, a very nice continuous trend, but we're coming up, of course, against this very key resistance points. In fact, you could almost say this is we have a pennant formation here, or flag formation. I guess it's a pennant formation that if we break out to the upside, creates a very bullish impulse all the way up to 155s. But we do need to see a breakout, which means ultimately I think the breakout here has to happen with yen holding bid. If yen can hold bid here at around 110, 110.50, 111, the strengthening of the yen move will naturally carry this up, because I don't see the pound retracing much. The pound has made fresh Brexit highs, post-Brexit highs, and it looks really like it wants to take 140. So this combination of positive forces from yen and pound could really rip us up. But we need to see very much the 53.50 level to get a lot more confident that's going to happen. Now, the much more lower volatility trade is the Aussie Kiwi, which on first glance looks negative because obviously we have a negative candle in the weeklies. But if you look at this from a longer perspective, it's actually, I think, quite bullish structure, because what you have here is support at 108. As long as 108 holds, you basically only have about 100 points worth of risk. You have a very reasonable chance here to buy the dip, buy value, and have a move back up. Overall, on this particular tranche since May, what you're seeing is a series of higher highs. As a matter of fact, you can go back even earlier, down to March. High, 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 all higher highs, and higher lows, high, 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 still holding. And as long as those lows hold above the 108s, you got to be a buyer. And since it's very close to 108, it becomes a value proposition here. If Australian employment does prove to be stronger than expected, that should push us towards the 110 level and give us a very interesting trade on the cross. The last trade, of course, Euro CAD. Very, very bullish engulfing candle. Tremendous power move here this week, obviously on the strength of the euro and the weakness of the CAD. The question is, do we get continuity? And I think we have a reasonable chance here. You can see the points on the chart here where continuity is a very dominant force on the weeklies. And you have these double candles here, double candles here, double candles here, all of them lining up to sort of give you an idea that there's quite a strong chance here that we can get continuity all the way up to 155. Now, the fundamental trigger behind this continuity is that we get a BOC that is actually quite dovish. Even if they raise rates, which could be problematic, but let's grant them the chance that they do raise rates. Even if they do raise rates, if they come in and say this is a one and done situation, we don't see any more rate hikes for the time being because of the uncertainty surrounding NAFTA, that should actually be very negative. CAD, dollar CAD goes to 126, perhaps even 127, and that could lift us all the way up to 155. So I think this trade to the upside, given the technical background and the fundamental setup, could be the most interesting one as the week develops. Wish you guys the best luck, the best trading. Boris, over and out.